Good morning everyone, selamat pagi semua. Boleh dengar ke? Hello? Boleh dengar ni? Okay, right. Give me some thumbs up. Alright, thank you very much. Maaf kita start lambat sikit because tahu kan ada network problem. So thank you for coming everyone to this PERJASA live webinar, the last live webinar of the year, Repositioning ICT Project Management for Success. So it will be 10 to 12 noon, 2-hour session, and we have quiz at the end of the session. And don't worry about attendance form or any form that for you guys to update attendance, because every will auto capture. But at the end of the session, I will share also feedback form to get your guys' feedback. Okay. And just some reminder, you can ask question in the Q&A session there. If you guys look at on your right side, right, there's a chat button. Beside the chat button, there's Q&A. You can raise your question there, and then myself or Mr. Subra and we will try to answer your question. Okay, this is the Q&A button for you guys to asking question. And if you want to be shown on the stage, you can raise your hand. Okay, you can raise your hand and then you can just the moderator will invite you on stage. Okay, all right, without further ado, we will start. Okay, let me invite our PERJASA President, Puan Haniso Jalis. Hi, Puan Haniso. She will give a welcome speech.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hold on.
There's something wrong with the ni
Itulah dengar lah.
There's rumor there.
From me. Let me off the other one. Is it okay now?
Yeah, okay already. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan good morning semua. Okay, first and foremost di sinilah saya nak ucapkan ribuan terima kasih pada semua yang boleh join, and also di sini on behalf of PERJASA nak ucapkanlah takziah and condolence to those yang terlibat or affected by the banjir. Ya, ada yang tidak boleh bergerak, ada yang rumah masuk air dan juga sama ada yang di kawasan-kawasan berkenaan lah. And then thank you lah, alhamdulillah that you all pun still make an effort to join. So I was told also we have some participants from outside the government, so thank you. Okay, and here di sininya kita feel honoured lah ya, Encik Subra nak sampaikan ya ataupun share dia punya knowledge dengan dia punya expertise berkenaan dengan project management ya. So as you all know lah kan, Mr. Subra ni bukan calang-calang orang, have been in the service for quite some time ya. So that I really hope that you all, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan semua, pick his brain ya, tanya beberapa soalan yang perlu nak ditanya and all these things lah. Kalau ada apa-apa, dan kalau ada yang mungkin you all tak sempat nak tanya, boleh sama ada boleh email to us kemudian ataupun boleh chat. Okay, without further ado, kita pun dah lambat, dah 10 lebih, and then I would like to pass on kepada Puan Felicia dan juga di sinilah Mr. Subra ya. Okay, all the best to you. Thank you Mr. Subra.
Thank you Puan.
I will share my screen. Hold on ya.
Okay, very good morning ladies and gentlemen. While Felicia sharing a slide, I will start my talking. Thank you Felicia as a moderator, and thank you very much Puan Haniso, President of PERJASA, and also ladies and gentlemen, salam keluarga Malaysia. Thank you for joining this session this morning, where I plan to share some of the best practices on the project management as well how we can move forward So the title of the topic is Repositioning of ICT Project Management for Success.
Mr.
So,
Subra. Mr. Subra.
ya, dengar tak?
Dengar. Hold on please. I have something to introduce first.
Oh, okay. Alright. Sure.
Alright. Tak sabar, Mr. Subra.
Okay, sure.
Alright. Okay. So this is the agenda for today. So 11:45 we will have quiz and then we'll have program ends. Just now I mentioned that we have feedback form also. Every participant please fill in the feedback form so that we can improve our program. Right, this one is already halfway. So this session will be moderated by me. See, this is some of my experience. As you all know, or as if we have MAMPU officer here, Mr. Subra is my boss from I joined service until now. 12 years already, all right? All right, a little bit more about Mr. Subra. Mr. Subra is a Deputy Director in ICT Project Management Consultancy Unit from ICT Consulting Division in MAMPU, and he is recognized as ICT Project Management Method Expert in public sector. We call SME for the Malaysian Public Sector Agency since June 2012. Congratulations, Mr. Subra. And he has a graduate master in computer science from University of Manchester, United Kingdom, and also bachelor in computer science from University of Science. One is 1998, one is 1998. Oh, there's a difference 10 years, huh? And he has 20 years of public sector working experience involved in ICT project development project. So if you guys have any question about public sector ICT projects, please feel free to ask later. Okay. And also he has served in 4 different public sector agencies. And from time to time, he provide consultancy services in planning, project implementation, monitoring ICT project, contract management, and also troubleshoot problematic ICT projects. Presented seminar papers on ICT project management locally and in Malaysia's country report and international seminar or conferences. Our team, and also including Mr. Subra, has conducted ICT project management training or workshop for 55 government agencies. I think it's around approximately 1,200 personnel over the years. Not only ICT officers, there are other schemes officers as well. So this is the I'm being honored as well because I assist Mr. Subra in all these things over the years. And also we have one colleague, Puan Shida. Both of us assist Mr. Subra. And Mr. Subra did serve as lecturer in 3 private institutions teaching computer science and management information system in MBA program. So that's why Shida and I enjoy coaching by him as well. He has a very vast experience to guide and do mentoring. Okay, if anyone would like to find project management, ICT project management mentor, you can contact Mr. Subra. Okay. Mr. Subra has some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 certification. One is APM, Agile Project Management, MCTS, Microsoft Certified Technology Specialist in Managing Project. CTFL, CTLL, I think those in testing field, you know, this one is about testing. ITIL Foundation, Change Management, and CITA for this advanced this is for architecture in your field. Okay. All right, Mr. Subra, now it's your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Puan Felicia.
Pass to you.
Okay. Thank you, Puan Felicia,
All right.
for the kind introduction of myself. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to wish sincere thanks to PERJASA, Puan Anisun and her team. Sincere thanks and heartfelt gratitude for allowing me to speak in this PERJASA webinar, which is one of the last event for this year. Felicia, last event this year, right?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, the title of my talk is Repositioning of ICT Project Management for Success. I choose this topic because I would like to share some of the challenges as well as some best practices that we plan to do in implementing projects in public sector. That's basically my main intention. So next, please, Chua. Okay, this is basically my outline. I plan these slides in English. I also talk in English and also Malay, dual language. Felicia, okay, right?
Yeah,
Because I prepared this slide in English because I was told that there will be participants from other than government agencies. So basically, I have 6 areas to cover this morning. Some introduction, some framework, some governance. But important thing that I would like to share and the key takeaways from us ataupun for me this morning is number 4, number 5, number 6. I would like to share some of the project implementing challenges. Actually, I don't like to share on challenges because I want to move forward. So I want to emphasize on number 5 and number 6. So that's a key takeaway that I will share this morning. Number 5 or number 6. 1 to 4 is more introduction just to get everybody same page. Okay, next please. All right, I think this is a very common definition for project management, what is all about project. But the key takeaway from this slide is number 1, the objective. When you want to plan a project, we need to have a clear, precise objective. Normally, we will recommend 1 to 3 objectives, and the objective should be measured using the SMART concept. SMART concept, as I mentioned, written there, is a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So we would like the agencies, when you plan your projects, articulate your objective very clearly. Not many, 1 to 3 will good enough, but in SMART concept. Example would be, I want to increase what? Increase this by how many percent? By 20% or 30% by 2025. That kind of a clear, precise objective will be better rather than generic objective. Because when we complete the project and the system in operation, you need to do an impact study after 1 year in operation. So after 1 year, when you do an impact study, you always measure the impact study against the objective. What are those objectives and what is the outcome of the objective? So that's how we need to have a clear and precise objective. As I mentioned, 1 to 3. 3 is good, reasonable good. That will be, we can use it. And I noticed quite a number of agencies using impact as one of the objectives. For me, it's not right. Impact is impact, it's outcome, but objective is different. And we would like to encourage the business people or the project owner determine the objective clearly when you want to start a project. So that's the main slide. Then the rest are very simple, that we need to have the budget, scope, etc. Okay, next. All right. Again, some basic introduction. When we talk about project management, we always talk about the triple constraints, which I abbreviated with TCS. T stands for time, C stands for cost, S stands for scope. So time or not, basically when you do a project in public sector, the time, most of the time is exceeded. We plan for 2 years, it's become longer than that. Sometimes costs also increase. This is what we call as not good. That is what I will share during challenges. But the main thing about when you do a triple constraint scope, where you need to have a clear project need statement and also specific. The scope need to be specific. So this TCS, time, cost, and scope. And one more thing is important thing is your quality, which is your outcome and output. So what you are going to produce under this project? Is it a system? Is this an infra? Is it some mobile application? So those are output and outcome. So all these criteria, time, cost, and scope, plus the quality are normally fixed before this. I again repeat, time, cost, scope, and quality normally fixed. Fixed means that's why we have a fixed time contract, fixed budget contract. Okay, so that's TCS. Next, please. All right, this is one slide where I just want to emphasize, Chua, next please. There's a circle will come. Okay. I don't know, circle there. Okay. This is a slide we call ICT Project Implementation Framework, where when you have a mandate or official order from your stakeholder, then we can start doing the project, and definitely need a budget. So when you have a mandate and you have a budget, we can start a project, and we call this a project life cycle, which is have 4 phases under PERJASA, which is initiation, planning, implementation, control, and closure. And all these are governed by governance, a proper governance. I will share one slide with governance. And we need to have a proper governance, because in ICT project, governance is very, very important. And the governance will guide and strategize the project for success implementation. So we need to have a regular interval project team meeting, steering committee meeting, etc., so that we can report the progress or report to our stakeholders from time to time. And after the project completed, we go on operation and maintenance. And during the project implementation and during operation maintenance, we always have some policies to follow, some standards to follow, some guidelines to follow, and some legal aspect to follow. These are normal. And one of the key things I want to highlight in this slide is, when you do a project, we have a management aspect. And normally we call this as a people, process, technology. Now, when you talk about management aspect, people, process, technology, doing ICT projects, we notice that technology no longer an issue. Technology no longer issue. We have issues on people and process. Now, the main thing I want to talk this morning is about agile project management. So, when talk about agile project management, the people mindset, the process mindset need to be changed or transformed to cater for agile methodologies or agile techniques. If you use the old methods we call waterfall, I have some slides to share with you. The thinking waterfall and all that, that's the reason there's a delay, and then there's a EOT, extension of time, etc. So the main purpose of we need to have this sort of transformation of the people mindset and process mindset, and also technology to move to agile. So that is the main thing I want to talk about this morning. Okay, next please. Kalau ada soalan boleh tanya dalam chat. Okay. So here I put up some sample public sector projects. There are some frontliners projects like JPN, you have MyCard, we have immigration, we got JPJ, we got MyEG and services, we got PDRM, COPS system, we have eTanah, as you all know, we have implemented eTanah successfully in Pejabat Tanah Kalian Kuala Lumpur and Penang, and subsequently we roll out to Putrajaya and other states very soon. By next year, I think most of the states will have a system eTanah, which is a very transformation kind of a system in place. Then we have a lot of other things, and I think public normally use the e-filing and other necessary projects. And we have one on top corner left, MyGovla, which is the Malaysian portal, standard portal. You can get a lot of information about Malaysian government services and also information from this portal. And on right-hand side, we have Gamma. Gamma is the mobile apps. We have right now about 186 mobile applications available in Gamma. And what I noticed is the application we have in Gamma so far all are what we call information-based, like My Cuaca, My Price Index, etc. So we have 186 mobile application that public can use. And bottom there, we got My Project to monitor project. We have DDMS as a digital management system. I think we have about 250 agencies already using DDMS. And the latest addition to all the project is a My Sejahtera, which is very common that now everywhere you go, we use My Sejahtera to scan and register our wherever we go and check in, check out, and all this. So these are some of the main projects we implemented over the years. And with this system implemented, the public service delivery now is relying on ICT. Nowadays, we notice if we set system down for 1 hour or even half an hour, people are complaining already now. So the other day, like for example, COP system, I want to pay someone for discounts. a lot of complaints in social media saying that we can't transact, slow, and etc. etc. So those are the things we need to consider when you want to implement projects successfully. So that's why this morning I want to bring everybody's attention to change mindset, how to we reposition ourselves. As I mentioned, currently the public service delivery very much depending on ICT. That is, we cannot deny the fact, very much depending on ICT. So everything on ICT, everyone is in the system, and even during the pandemic, as you all know, the appointment system was so popular. They need to book appointment to get a service from government agencies. So those are the services that we offer time to time to the rakyat or public, so that they can benefit from this the projects that we are doing. And this morning I will share how we reposition ourselves. Okay, next please. All right, this is PERJASA. PERJASA is a methodology that we come up in 2018. There's a circular for this now. This is basically a good guide for project implementation end to end. And I hope agencies will use this PERJASA and adopt PERJASA in your project planning and implementation, so that you will get the kind of systematic way of managing and running a project. Okay, next please. Now, this is IC governance. As I mentioned before, we have a 3 level of IC governance. We have a project team, we have a technical committee, and steering committee. This is very important, and projects need to be reported to the technical committee and the steering committee, so that you can have a proper guidance from them to monitor and all the issues, risks being escalated properly, so that we have guidance from the relevant committees. So now I will move into some of the challenges, item number 4. So those are very basic things that I discussed. Now I just want to share the challenges that we have in public sector, and most of you are well aware of these challenges. I just want to recap so that we can have some discussion on this and see how move forward, how we can improve further, so that these challenges can be addressed properly and taken a proactive measures, so that moving forward under RMK 12, the project implementation, ICT project implementation particularly become better and smooth. So that's my intention to share this with the audience, so that you have also this list is not exhaustive. It is based on our understanding when we do consulting with government agencies. Okay, number 1, basically, a key challenge here is number 1, as mentioned here, is managing the expectation from our stakeholders and our clients. This is one of the key challenges that we have. And talking about ICT implementation, this is getting more challenge. We time to time hear from our stakeholders saying that project management, ICT projects are delayed, ICT project management not delivering. And if you refer to the Audit Negara report every year, there are so many things that we mention about project management in terms of how we manage, how we monitor, how we control, and importantly, how we want to make sure the outcome or the output is utilized. Because audit always emphasize the project scope and also implementation, and importantly, the outcome. And most of the time, when I read the reports, there is a mismatch in terms of implementation and managing stakeholder expectation. So those are the key things that we need to consider. That's one. Secondly, we also need to manage the change. Okay, we are now dealing with the dynamic environment, very dynamic environment. Now we talk about digital world. Then so many things happening. As you all know, technology so change very fast. By the time we plan and by the time we implement or buy the hardware, technology has changed. a lot of things happening. So we need to manage the entire thing in terms of technology, the requirements, the laws, the regulations. All this need to be managed so that we can do a proper project management. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to you all read the Jabatan Audit Negara report, yearly reports, where talk about these things quite detailed in terms of what are the real challenges we have in implementing projects. And thirdly, we also have some major challenges, top management support and commitment. This is also very crucial. Top management support and commitment is very crucial for us to deliver. If you deliver on time, top management will be happy. You deliver late, they will angry with you. So as simple as that. So we, as a project implementer, we need to look at the expectation and manage their and get their support and commitment from time to time so that we can deliver. That is very important. And fourthly, we have users. The users, we need to get a buy-in, the ownership, the support, and commitment. So nowadays, users are very, demanding. I would say demanding because they want a service anytime, anywhere. And technology is available for us to provide a service anytime, anywhere. So we need to manage user expectation and also how we deliver service. Before that, we have a counter services. We expect our citizens go to counter to get the services. Then we have more web-based and digital, online services where we provide facilities to our users to conduct online transaction. And during the pandemic, the online transaction getting mature, better and better. But is it good enough, or is there anything else we can do? But you compare to other services, for example, telcos or consumer banks, they already providing mobile application solutions. And with the handphone, we can do everything with the handphone. No need to go to counter anymore, no need to go to ATM machine anymore. We can just do, I would say, most of the transaction using mobile apps. So looking at that scenario, I think moving forward, I would like to encourage more and more government services also be mobile, because that is the trend now people are looking for. So we need to get users buy-in. You provide the services mobile, they like it, they will use it, and they will get a benefit. So as simple as that. And then we have another challenge here. I would say the challenge is before, but now it's more, not more challenge, because we have a ICT infrastructure. We are paying so much for ICT infrastructure, the servers, the network, the information, etc., etc. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, you are fully aware, MAMPU under Prime Minister's Department are currently providing three main infrastructure solutions. One is the public sector data center, we call it PDSA. We have 4 locations now, hosting almost like 170 agencies. Secondly, we have MyGovNet, where all the federal governments are well connected with the MyGovNet, so that we can provide the services, things like Hermes, Jermas, etc., etc. Then, thirdly, we have another good infrastructure that we have put in place. There is a government public key infrastructure. So we understand in future we need to have a digital signing. We need to sign a document digitally. So that infrastructure that we are putting in place is GPKI. So those are infrastructure already available. I hope the agencies can utilize, can adopt these technologies and get maximum benefit from these technologies. For example, the other day, when PDRM offered 80% saman discounts to pay samans, there was a outcry there saying that we couldn't access, the system slow and all that. Just think about this situation where if the saman solution made available in PDSA, MyGov PDSA, for example, we can just increase the CPU and memory for short duration, for example, for the month of December, so that we can anticipate the new volume they're increasing because of the discounts. But because this thing is in PDRM data center, they're not able to provide that kind of a flexibility where you increase the CPU and memory due to demand. But in PDSA, we can do that. If there's an increase in demand, we can just increase the CPU and memory to cater for, so that our users will use the facilities, the transaction, without much problem. So they will be happy with the service that you're providing. So those are examples I'm giving, so that the IC infrastructure that we have, I hope agencies can leverage on, use it, and put things better. This is one of the repositioning things that I want to encourage. And compared to when I first joined service, or just compare about 15 years ago, the project management methodology was a very low scale in public sector. But after we are giving a training, we are giving come up with the circular in 2018, the maturity project management methodology in public sector getting better and better, and hopefully it will getting better in future, so that, as I mentioned, we can complete the project on time, on schedule, on budget, and provide the outcome and output that we realize under the objective that we plan for the project. And we also have a system development methodology already have available. We call it CRISA. So those are the things that we already developed as a guidance for the agencies to follow, to adopt. So we have infrastructure, we have a best practice on project management, we also have best practice system development, we also have best practice security, etc., etc. So all this, we hope that agency really plan and use it to support the services for the citizen. So we would like to, especially when you provide the services and in this nature, G2C, government to citizen, that's one category, and second category is government to business. These two category, there's a very great demand for the services. So we need to look at those area and provide the services, and hopefully in RMK12, we will have many projects. Actually, just for information, under MAMPU, we have a Jawatan Kuasa Technical IC Sektor JTSA, where normally we receive about 80 to 90 projects. The JTSA is the highest committee in public sector who will look at the technical viability of any project that the agency plan to do. So in a year, roughly, we have 80 to 90 projects that come for approval at JTSA. So we will look at all these three things, the infrastructure, the methodology, the costing, and all that, so that end of the day, we able to implement a project successfully. Okay, next. All right. This is the second part of the issues where we talk about human-related issues. In my experience, yes, we have some issues. I need to mention this here. We have issues related to people. Namely, we have a shortage of people in ICT in public sector. We have a shortage in skills required in terms of management expertise, leadership expertise, soft skill, etc., etc. We although we are giving a lot of training and all that, still there are room for improvement. Things can be better. And in fact, just to share with you, recently we implemented a project. We noticed that vendor also couldn't provide sufficient numbers. Vendor couldn't provide sufficient numbers to do the project. In turn, from the beginning, the project getting more time required. So this is what we do want in public sector. So we need to give right priorities for the skill set that we want in the project. With the right skill set, with the right people, with the right number, we can successfully implement a project. So this is another area we need to look at in terms of ensuring that we can do a better project management. Then we have a security. Okay, security, as you all know, in digital world, everybody expect security to tip off. For example, we need to have a security that can provide confidence to the users that their transaction, their ATM card, their details are secure. So that is a way that we need to put in place in terms of physical aspect, as well data aspect, as well most importantly the application aspect. So we need to build secure application so that every element in the application being securely developed so that we can have a trustworthy system later. So which prevent from any incidents from hackers and all that. And I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, we read in the papers from time to time that hackers are aggressively trying to change details here and there, and they manage to hack in some systems, etc., etc. So we as IT officers always need to ensure that our system will well protected in terms of security, in terms of physical, in terms of data, as well in terms of application. And we have a lot of security guidelines, RAKSA, for example, that we need to follow to ensure the security aspect. And in terms of application, this is the major challenge part. In terms of application, we have, in a way, integration issues, where in current scenario, when you want to talk about delivery of services to the citizen, we don't deliver in silo base. We are talking about service delivery in citizen point of them, meaning to end-to-end services. End-to-end services meaning to say they can get the transaction complete without going to counter. They can able to do everything online, pay online, check online, print online. So those are the things that we need to put in place. And for this to deliver, able to happen, we need to integrate one system to another. And when you talk about integration, we notice a bit of major challenge in terms of integration, because we plan for project and agency have their own priorities in terms of implementing their services, and sometimes it does not match. So with this kind of issues, we not able to deliver solutions fully. Probably we need to deliver workaround or whatever in the, what you call, in intermediate kind of solutions. So importantly, when we want to do a project with integration, I would like to strongly recommend that you need to have engagement with the relevant agencies before we issue the document tender, and get your specs or the requirement right before we issue the document tender, so that we can take their requirements very well when in our document tender. When we do implementation later, we will able to minimize the risk associated with integration. Another important thing is on data sharing. I'm involved in quite a number of projects for past 10 years, and data sharing among applications become very common, and it has a lot of issues as well. So I hope we can use best practices that we lay out in CRISA in terms of integration document, etc., where we can look at this element to improve further. Okay, next. Okay, the other challenge that this is where Felicia, this vendor here this morning. Okay, never mind, Felicia. Thank you. All right. So in terms of
sorry, Mr. Subra, I unmute myself. I think no vendor. Not so sure. Have to have a look later.
Okay, I think the few registered, right? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you, Felicia. I just want to make sure, because if the vendor's there, I can point out to them. But since they're not there, I'll point to our colleagues here, lah.
Maybe we can ask them to raise their give some signs if there's
yeah,
any,
sure. All right.
Any private sector here? You can
Anyone
thumbs
private
up.
sector here?
Can thumbs up for us?
Can thumbs up? Okay.
Oh, okay.
No response. Okay, fine. All right.
Hey, Mr. Subra, I saw 2 thumbs up.
Okay, good. So the private sector. Okay, let us talk about this issue then. The challenge. Right. Okay, not issue, challenge.
Okay.
So far, okay, Felicia? Clear, right?
Yeah, very clear.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Subra, maybe 11:15 we have a short break.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Sure. So I will finish off these challenges. Then we can have a short break. Then we will move on others. All right. In terms of outsourcing issues, okay, why we do outsource government projects? Basically, I think we already see the issue that government people not enough, and we would like to engage vendors to do the solution for us. And most of the time, when we engage a vendor, there's some costly involvement involved. The project I shared just now in the earlier slide, I'm not sure whether you all know or not, most of the project is more than 50 million and above. 50 million is a huge money. It's huge money to deliver a particular project. So it's for public sector or MAMPU, it's a very costly investment. So we want, with this kind of investment, the project delivered and be able to get a return on investment, ROI, ROI in a very short period. Looking at the ROI, if we can, let's say the project is 50 million, if we can get the ROI 100 million in 2 years, it's very good because we able to get back the money we spend, and then that is on money part. But in terms of service delivery, public is enjoying the service. So those are that we need to consider. Okay, this is the second point I want to highlight. What we notice in public sector projects, when you do engage with vendor to deliver, I'm not sure if any vendor can agree with my point of view. Basically, we notice that the vendor having difficulties to understand government internal processes. It can be human resource processes, it can be hospital information processes, it can be financial processes, it can be anything. But when we engage the vendor, we have a subject matter expert to explain to them how we do projects or the process. We explain to them process A is like this, process B is like this, process A, if it's a condition like this, like this, like this. We explain. And we have difficulties where the vendor, sometimes they seems to understand, but when they produce a document we call as a business requirement specification document or system requirement documentation or business system design specifications, they find it, government find it, what being told them is not reflected 100%. So there's a gap, that's one. Sometimes we accept, and when you review the document, it will take time and time and time. That's where in projects we start deviating a lot from our plan, original plan. And I can share you, ladies and gentlemen, there are many cases where we plan for requirement phase 3 months, 4 months, actually go up to 8 months, 9 months. That's a requirement phase alone. Because of the understanding that a vendor has of the government processes. So, in this case, if you want to reposition yourself, I would like to encourage the government people work end to end with vendor during the requirement phase, because vendor having difficulties. Or we, government team, do the requirements precisely, or at least business requirement specification, and put it that document in the document tender, so that vendors have a good clarity what need to be delivered under the project. Most often or not, when the project is started, kickoff started, they will do. In 3 months, 4 months, they will come and say, I underestimated project. Very common scenario happen. This is probably, I just want to use an analogy here. See, I'm sure you've gone through secondary school education and all that. The SME is like a teacher. The teacher teach the students, let's say mathematics, algebra. One of the formula of famous algebra is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That's very precise. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Sorry, I'm using this analogy, but I just want to relate this. So the teacher will explain, give examples, and we notice some can understand. And when we have some, they understand later, and some cannot understand at all. Then they will go to tuition to understand better. So the analogy here is, if I take the teacher as SME giving the requirements, the vendor is the students. Some they can understand faster, some they wouldn't understand. Some, they take it longer to understand. And worst part, the understanding is totally different than what we say to them. So in that scenario, we are having a situation where we are taking more time to review and endorse those deliverables. Ladies and gentlemen, I just did a renovation for my house just last year. The renovation, let's say the cost is 50,000. You know the renovation is done based on one single piece of information only. One single piece information where in that single sheet clearly articulate what should be done. You want kitchen, what kind of kitchen? You want wardrobe, what kind of wardrobe, what color, what everything clearly articulate in just one single information, one single sheet of information. And it's given by the architect. Architect draw the thing, give to the contractor. Contractor use that drawing, just one piece drawing, to do the renovation. And after renovation complete, we go and see, wow, so nicely done. And we pay the money. So what I'm trying to say here, we have this kind of thing where the requirement need to be told clearly to the vendors so that they can develop a good system for us. And we would like to encourage agencies to come up with a BRS, Business Requirement Specifications, as important things early, so that agency also have a clear clarity what want to be delivered, etc. So much on the this issue. I hope moving forward this issue will be properly addressed, because we find it quite a number of projects being delayed during requirement phase for a simple reason: the vendors couldn't understand the government internal processes. And that's why some document tender will say the vendors need to appoint subject matter expert from private sector to help them to articulate the requirements clearly, specifically. Okay, the third issue that we have here is on the we are relying on third party for technical and project management expertise. But this is getting better, I would say. The government IT people also already improving their knowledge and skill, and etc. And we notice there are more and more applications being built in-house for use of public. So that is a good signal that we are moving in that right direction. The other challenge we have is contractors and subcontractors. This is, I would say, one of the major challenge in managing contractor or outsource projects. See, when we do a project with a contractor, most of the time they also appoint subcontractors with a specific scope and clear kind of timelines or whatever. But in terms of implementation, we find that there is a lot of issues between contractors and subcontractors because from what I noticed, government have fixed contract with contractor, SI we call it. But between contractor and subcontractor, they have what you call not fixed contract, they have what you call time and material contract. Time and material contract compared to fixed contract is very much different. So we need to look at all these aspects. We having fixed contract with the contractor, but between contractor and subcontractor, they have a time and material kind of arrangement. So that's why when we do a CR, an example, we say this is in the scope, but subcontractor come and say this is the cost. There's a cost to it. So those are the things that we need to really look into it. If you can do requirements clearly, I really believe we can handle this very well. So we need to understand that. Again, in terms of communication, very important. The transfer of technology also very important. And we always put in the document tender that the vendor need to be transfer technology to our people so that we can run the operation later. but I just want to highlight here. There are perception there that IT people can do servers, they can produce software license, etc. So I just want to highlight here, when you talk about transfer technology, we normally encourage transfer of technology happen in application. Application, IT people, public sector IT people can handle. But in terms of server maintenance and licensing renewal and etc., that one we need a maintenance contract. So basically what we're saying here is we can have a maintenance contract for servers, hardware, and etc., and also the software licenses, renewal of that. But in terms of application, yes, I believe my fellow colleagues able to provide the support and do the changes and etc., because we are using the same kind of a platform. This is Java or Laravel or what is PHP, .NET, and all those things. It can be learned and can be used. Okay, the other challenge we have is the change management. So the change management also very important, so that we need to put the right program in place to change the mindset of people from current scenario, current assist scenario, to the new scenario where we are talking about everything rely on digital services, everything rely on handphone. So the mindset change, and as I mentioned earlier, there is a great demand from our public to use the services. And this is a testimony when PDRM launched the 80% discount, everybody is connected to web or mobile to do the transaction. But it's just that too many access. At the same time, the system not able to give the response like we wanted. But if that is in the cloud, whether private cloud or public cloud, as you all know, government appointed 4 public cloud service providers. So moving forward, we need to put all this thinking together and our planning together, so that if we have this kind of a one-time kind of event, how to address it and the public not get angry with the government services. So as I mentioned, maintenance, we need to have money or budget for hardware, software licenses, and also technology refresh. And if you can, for software licenses, if we can adopt to open source, we can reduce much of the license cost as well. So those are things that we need to look into, so that our IT investment in public sector really being optimized, and we can deliver the maximum to the citizen. And when audit do the outcome and output analysis, they can say that this project managed to get their major outcome, fulfill very close to 100% kind of things. Okay, so those are the I took a little bit to explain these challenges, because I just want to have a better understanding those challenges and how we can mitigate or how we can overcome these challenges in what I'm going to share in next few slides. Maybe this is a takeaway. Chua, I think next place, Chua, where we are now. Okay, I think what I mentioned just now is all articulated here. Why top reason for project failure. I just look from some research here and there. So they're saying that most of the web projects fail because insufficient developers, ambiguous scope or requirements, and scope creep. Those are normal things happening. And also there's no clear sync between design and the purpose. So those are the some of the findings that we have out there in terms of why the project is being able to deliver on time, on budget, on scope. So we always need to look at this kind of statistics, review, and see whether we can overcome that in our projects. And if we look at the right hand side, this is another statistic. They said why Why do most projects fail? Number one, they get poor communication. I believe the communication between the SME and also the developer from the vendor side, they're not able to understand or articulate the requirement clearly. Because in ICT project, we need to develop documents, BRS document, SRS document, BRS document, data migration plan, system integration plan. A lot of documents being produced to articulate, to make everybody understand this is what we are going to do in this project. So communication aspect become crucial in terms of ensuring that right information being given to the right people so that they can understand it and they can deliver the project. Second is an insufficient resource planning. As I mentioned before, we have this big issue in terms of people. Not enough people, that's one issue, and not enough the right skill set, that's another issue. For ICT project, in my opinion, we need to have the numbers, we need to have the right skill set. And I always have this analogy. When we do a project, the project team should be full-time all the time. We need this concept full-time all the time to deliver the project. But if we have other things to do during the project, that's where we're not able to focus. That's where we are behind schedule or getting things later and etc. 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 So, and the third one is unrealistic schedules. This is another issue. We normally plan for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. How we determine this? So we have an unrealistic schedule. From my experience, last 3 years, quite a number of projects being given extension time. Quite a number of projects. For a simple reason, they couldn't complete. Despite given EOT, they still couldn't complete. So that is the, I find it very difficult to accept. That's why I would like to share this morning things that we can consider in future so that those areas we can look at it and overcome. Okay, so those some of the challenges that I think I've gone through quite detail on this, terms of the major challenges we have in terms of numbers of people issue. We got process issue, but technology not so much issue. So in my guiding principle, I always use 40% people, 40% process, technology only 20%. People say ICT project is technology. It's not. Technology is only about 20%. The other two, people and process, is about 40%. We can discuss on that. Why I say so, if there's a question later. Okay, Chua, next please. All right. So this is the one slide that I want to have your kind attention, so that a lot of things I want to share in this particular one slide. Okay, I think most of us was about concept waterfall and agile. You know, IT system was come out in 1940s when the World War starts. There's a IT system already coming up. A lot of UNIVAC systems and etc. already in place. And we do, so if it's 1940, now it's 2021, so almost 60 years for ICT. And we have another concept that we call agile. Okay, agile concept, from my research, I found out that it's become very, very mature in terms of agile concept around 1980s. Okay, so before that, we used to have waterfall. As you can see the picture, the second color picture, waterfall means it's like a waterfall, you know, one after one. It's one after one. You have to complete A, then move to B, they complete B, so C, and etc. And we need to have a sign off in between so that to move forward, and move forward. So that's called waterfall. Agile, in contrast, we are doing. So if you look at the table, they have in table, just see the picture there. If you're using a waterfall, the person find it very challenging. He's carrying a big burden on him. which is articulated the red color box. What is a box? So red color. So now people are thinking whether you want to move for agile, you want to go for waterfall, or you want to go to hybrid, so things. So I just want to share here some of the facts so that we can consider ourselves which is a better kind of a thing to move forward. So if you can see the picture, red color, the waterfall process, they find it very burden to carry. Whereas on the agile process, they're happily fixing one by one, so implementing one by one, fixing one by one, deploying one by one. So they find it very flexible. So that is the picture itself able to articulate the main difference between waterfall and agile. But in addition, I also put some more differences in these two. I pick up this is main difference in terms of waterfall. As I mentioned before, you follow the plan, develop the beginning of the project. That means one after one, beginning waterfall. Whereas in agile, we have a progressive plan. This is the word I like. Progressive plan. Not it's a cut and stone kind of thing. It's a progressive. From the time we adjust, modify, fine-tune. That is a key thing in agile. Secondly, in waterfall, we have a phase and sequential. Phase, sequential, one after. Very clearly mentioned just now. And the diagram also shows that. But in agile, what I like is we have interactive and incremental. We have incremental so that it's adaptive. You adopt and see whether you can fine tune further, etc. So very much kind of solution driven approach. Whereas in waterfall, we have final product is delivered at the end. This is the part, the major challenge. Chua, can you hear me?
Suddenly cannot hear you, Mrs.
Yeah. This is
All right.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you now.
All right, thank you. So many thumbs up. Thank you very much. You're following my lecture. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay, where we are at Chua, sorry.
Right, okay.
Okay, so this is where the major issue comes up. Waterfall, the final product delivered at the end. Maybe 2 years later, 3 years later. And we got no patience. Our stakeholder does not have a patience to see the system after 2 years. And what I'm trying to say here is they have given the requirements, and when they do the design and development, they do testing. Sometimes testing takes time because there's a new item being added here and there, scope creep happening, etc. And the stakeholder waiting. Are we doing right thing? Are we want our stakeholder waiting all the time? So, in contrast on that, we are in agile method producing working outcome on regular intervals. This is the another part I would like to share. I'm sure you heard about Scrum and Sprint. That's during the development of a system, Scrum and Sprint. But today I want to introduce another concept called time box. Time box. So it's similar to Scrum, but it's more precise in terms of project management kind of scenario. Right? Time box. I will introduce later. And waterfall. This is another main thing. Waterfall, the cost of rework is very, very high. I hope you agree with my point of view. The cost of rework very, very high. I'm sure the developers agree with. Knows this. Can I see some thumbs up? Do you agree with me? Okay, thank you again. So all of us are same page. So the cost of rework very high, whereas in Agile, the cost of rework low because of the nature of the agile is incremental, interactive. I mean, you produce outcome regular basis. So that is the beauty, I would say, beauty of agile methodology. And I'm happy to share, ladies and gentlemen, some of the agile project management principles this morning for you for takeaway. And that will be my what you call main thing, because I learned this last year and I find it very very interesting. And moving forward, I say this is the best way. Okay, look at the waterfall. The time is gone. Now it's agile, and software development is also agile. Project management also agile. So now I'm trying to put a scenario where development also agile, project management was agile. What are those? Okay, I will share that in short while. And another statistic I want to share with you. You can see in the left hand corner, bottom side. This is another research I got it. If you do agile method, the success rate is much better compared to the waterfall. Whereas the failure rate also very small compared to waterfall. So all this information I'm sharing here, this one slide, try to show that agile is the way forward. Do you agree? Please thumbs up. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So a lot of thumbs up. So we are on the same page. So our intention, ladies and gentlemen, is to deliver the project as quick as possible, but we don't compromise on the quality. So that is the main thing that I want to emphasize. So the next few things, next about Chua, what time will we break? I think we can break now, Chua. Give them 5 minutes.
All right.
5 minutes because I want to go to new topic after this.
Okay. Take 5, everyone.
Okay. So I will see you again 11:15, ladies and gentlemen. I need to take a drink also. Chua, I need another half an hour, maybe, yeah?
All right. So far, so good. Still on time.
Okay.
We have a question already.
Okay. So you just let me know.
Okay.
Let me complete the thing.
All right. I think after your presentation only we start the question.
Yeah. Because I want them to listen the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then they have the better understanding.
Yeah. I got some message as well. Sorry if I didn't reply your message because I'm controlling the slide. I can't do anything. All right, Mr. Subra.
Okay,
11:15.
thank you.
Okay, I will mute myself and share the screen.
Okay. Kita go slow and steady, Chua. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back. I will now move on to which is the key takeaway today lah. Okay, the key takeaway today is the Agile PM, Agile Project Management, and I would like to share with you all, ladies and gentlemen, the Agile PM known as Dsdm, Dynamic System Development Method. Okay, because of this, initially was a system development method, but because of the adaptability, this Dsdm now being considered as Agile Project Management. So I would like to share some of the principle, because it's a lot of things there in this Agile PM, but I just want to share some of the basic important things for you to start with, to begin with in your organizations. And in the Agile PM or Dsdm, Dsdm involve all the stakeholders, actually such as business representative, throughout the interactive incremental life cycle. This is one key point. In waterfall, they give requirement, then they will come again during testing. But in Agile PM, Dsdm involve all the stakeholders, especially from the business entity, throughout the interactive incremental cycle. So this is one of the things I would like to emphasize in terms of the difference between Agile PM and waterfall. And another thing I want to mention here, in Dsdm, I call Agile PM from now onwards, the time, the cost, and the quality are fixed. However, the scope is dynamic. Again, the cost, the time, the quality are fixed, whereas in scope is dynamic. Whereas in waterfall or before the methodology, or even PMBOK, whatever, all these four elements, time, cost, quality, are fixed. Okay? So with that, I will move to the next one. I hope you know what is dynamic. Okay, now, this is where I want to share, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to share with you the Dsdm 8 principles. The number also 8, a very nice number. So the concept here, the Dsdm is, the principles here, behind the principles here is, we have the principle need to be understood very well for us to follow the Dsdm concept. First principle mentioned about focus on business need. This is, I believe everyone knows that we always do, when you do a project, we always need to understand what are the business needs for the project. Who are the users? What is the business need? What we are going to deliver? So we need to understand the business priorities. We need to have a strong and a valid business case in terms of business need. That's why normally we'll do a cost-benefit analysis before we embark a project. From there, we will understand the business need, and we will justify whether the project have a strong business case or not. If the project has a very strong business case and it's very valid, well, we can embark the project. So that is what principle number 1. So business priority is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking to create, and normally the requirements, you need to convert this requirement in terms of what you call as in Dsdm, high level requirements. We have a lot of requirements. You need to develop a requirement, what you call prioritize requirement list. Prioritize requirement list, what to deliver. So that those things need to be ironed out clearly, specifically. Then we will have a clear business objective concept. Secondly, we also, important thing, this is what I like to emphasize. We need to deliver on time. We need to deliver on time. If we say we can deliver in 6 months' time or something, deliver on time. So this design principle emphasize we need to get your requirements and let's say the requirements, so many requirements, then you look at the timeline. What's the timeline to deliver this? Maybe 1 year, 2 years. Then the 1 year, 2 years that you have, you need to break into what we call as a time box. A time box similar to what we call as Scrum or Sprint, 2 to 4 weeks. In 2 to 4 weeks, what I can deliver? Maybe in the first 2 weeks, I can deliver the login screen. Next 2 weeks, I can deliver the forget password kind of things. Next 2 weeks, can deliver something. So you need to have a clear, precise goals every 2 weeks. This is what you call deliver on time. And in Dsdm method, they always encourage you to hit the deadline. This is where I find it very interesting. In the projects that we are running, we are not hitting the deadlines. That's why our stakeholders are not happy. They are saying, why so much delay here and there? Why the system not coming up? When you want to complete the project? Those are the things that they would like to get answers from the team. So in Dsdm, we always need to hit the deadline. In 1 month, I want to do this. This is the deadline. Meet the deadline. Hit the deadline. And this concept also giving principles, which we call the Moscow method. Moscow, you know, there's a beautiful city in Russia. I believe some of you been there. Anyone can thumbs up? Went to Moscow? Anybody? just to get a feel of that. Anybody went to Moscow? Oh, Chua. No one went to Moscow. Okay, the Moscow method emphasizes into 4 things: Mo, S, Co, W. So Mo is, what we say here is must have. What are the requirements that must have this time to deliver in this time box? What are the requirements must have? Time box. Secondly, should have. Should have. Which one should have? Thirdly, could have. Could have. And fourthly, don't have. So we make it very clearly in this time box, we have this. Chua, can you click this that Moscow so that it will take up to another slide? Okay, right. This is some definition of what must have. So no legal without it. Maksudnya, sorry, the meaning is no point implementing it. That's must have. Unsafe without it. Cannot deliver a viable solution without it. These are criteria for you to consider when I say must have. Okay, not legal without it, unsafe without it, cannot deliver a viable solution without it. So this is called must have. In terms of should have, important but not vital. Important but not vital. May be painful to live out, but the solution is still viable. This is the point I want to highlight. May be painful to live out. You can live out that, but the solution is still viable. That means still can use the system. Thirdly, maybe need some kind of workaround to make the process complete. All right? And maybe temporary one, maybe. Okay, next. And in terms of could have, so next. In terms of could have, those are wanted or desirable but less important or less impact if you leave out. This is what we call as could have. And don't have or won't have this time. Those things we will not deliver because it may take time or it can be delivered later stage. So this all determined by using prioritized requirement list, and we use Moscow technique to determine this 4 elements: must have, should have, could have, won't have this time. Are you okay, ladies and gentlemen? Please thumbs up. Thank you again. Okay, Chua, go back to how many people we having Chua now? Okay.
Hold on, how many? 1, 2, 2.
Oh, okay. I could. Okay,
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone to be with us.
Wow, very colorful. Nice.
Yeah. We have so many.
All right.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Chua. Okay, go back. Okay,
Let's
I
go
have
back.
Okay, so is it possible to implement, ladies and gentlemen? Again, time's up. Okay, thank you. Okay, the third one, very simple. I think we are doing all the while is collaborate. We collaborate and we involve the stakeholders. And the Dsdm highlight one team culture. What is one team culture? One team culture. We don't have vendor government. No, it's a one team culture. We form a team, one team. We don't say, oh, this vendor, this is government. No, we are given a task to deliver a project, so we need to follow one-time culture. We need to have a good understanding, good networking, good focus thing, and dedicated all the time. Those few elements of good character of a person need to be built in to have a one-time culture. Okay. Number 4, this is very important. Although we do agile incremental kind of things, but never compromise quality. So quality is quality. How we define quality? Define quality means no defect. No defect. As long no defect, it meets quality criteria. That's number 1. Number 2, it fit the purpose. It fit the purpose. So you have these 2 criteria: no defects, it fit the purpose, and the customer happy. So you are delivering a good solutions. So again, don't compromise the quality. And in Dsdm, what I like very much is they ask you to agree the quality upfront when you start the project, or when you have use. Remember, the stakeholder, the business people is with you all the time. They need to be with you all the time. In Dsdm concept, they call ambassador. The SME being called as ambassador. They need to be all the time, every day with you. You clarify with them. Is it okay? Is the quality okay? This is okay. Every day we do this so that we can do incremental solution from time to time. And number 4 is, again, never compromise quality. Okay, next. Chua, next. Okay, the principle number 5 for Dsdm. Again, Dsdm is dynamic software development method. Principle number 5, as I mentioned many times, build incrementally from firm foundation. This is what I said. When you do a physical project, we need to have a firm foundation. Once you have a firm foundation, we can just increase the story one by one quickly. So that's how also we can use this software Dsdm technique. Build a firm foundation, reassess your priorities. When you do a time box, first time box, second time box, you assign your priorities. Can we deliver this now? Can we release in second time box? Reassess. That's where you develop your solution by filling up incrementally. Number 6, develop interactively. The concept here is when you develop, use customer feedback as much as possible. Get their feedback from your opinion, the survey, the results, the idea, the advice, the comment, the response. You use all these things to get stakeholders' understanding. I believe if you follow this kind of a concept, we can provide a good solution that meets quality of our stakeholder. I'm sure some of you could have read in Australia the agile methodology very success because they are using CCD, citizen-centric design. Citizen-centric design, where in every solution they provide, they engage the citizen and get a citizen feedback to deliver a solution. So when you engage the citizen and you deliver a solution based on their need, they're happy to use it. That's the theory behind it. Okay, so try to get feedback as much as possible. I think we can say we can say that we know all. The culture that we know all is gone already. Now the culture is engage with the citizen-centric design. We can read Google. Australia was successful because of citizen-centric design. They build the solution, they articulate the solution based on the citizen experience. What citizen really wants. So that's number 6. Number 7, I think this is very common. You need to communicate continuously and clearly. Tolonglah communicate clearly. Kadang-kadang we have this issue also, communication. We speak English or Malay, but we need to make sure that when we give requirements or when we give some input or we come some feedback or we give ulasan ke apa ke, kita make it very clear. Okay, in my experience, sometimes you review document, the BRSA document, it will take sometimes 6, 7, 8 times. Why we are spending so much time to review a document? What is more important? The important thing is to deliver software solution. So please put this in our thinking and make sure you. Okay, that's another key point I want to bring here. In Dsdm, they highlighting that we need to keep the documentation simple and timely. Documentation is simple and timely. What is the meaning of this? We still need to produce a documentation, but make it simple and hit a deadline. That's important. Or I notice in waterfall method, we spend a lot of time to make sure the documents are complete. Sign off. Lot of time. And when we in the solution, we go to UAT, masih ada user kata this solution is lacking here, lacking there, lacking here. So why not we look at different approach. That's why I want to highlight. That's why I choose this topic: repositioning ICT project management for success. Because we want to realign now requirements with development. If we can do the development requirement together, and before UAT, both complete. Okay, good. So, remember I mentioned in Agile project management, we build incrementally and we always meet the deadline, hit the deadline. So, that's what I really mean.
Mr. Subra.
Yeah.
Interrupt while we have one Rosia. She raised hand. Do you want to answer her question?
Can I complete that, Chua? Give me another. I complete first, Chua.
All right, okay.
Puan, sorry ya Puan. Let me complete dulu. Nanti
Later
akan lupa pula.
Later we will invite you to station, Puan Rosia.
I will give you ni Puan. Boleh Puan? Okay. So that is the. Are you okay dah? If the keep documentation simple and timely, are you okay, ladies and gentlemen? Please thumbs up if you agree with me. Oh, okay. Thank you again. I think this is what the main shift that we would like to happen in next project. I'm sure now some of you got budget ready for project for next year, RP2. Tanya, kalau dapat ada budget. So you plan very well the project, try to use what we learned today. And for those didn't get, try again in RP3 pula. Okay? Don't give up, Okay, don't give up. And hopefully we can also do a better. Okay, the last one, DS principle ialah demonstrate control. Meaning to say we need to proactive in monitoring progress. And in Dsdm concept, the concept is mentioned ialah stand-up meeting. Meaning to say, we need to have a meeting daily basis, not weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. No, need to have a daily basis, 15 minutes maximum, to say what you have done yesterday, what you plan to do today, and is there any issue or not. These 3 things only. And each person, a normal team in Agile in Dsdm is 7 to 8 people. 7 people is a good team. 7 people, 2 minutes per each team. Each person, 7 times 2, 14 minutes. So you have 14 minutes to discuss about the project in daily basis in a stand-up meeting. No mula duduk dan kita meeting tak. Ini stand-up purely. And ladies and gentlemen, you can go to Google, our big brother. There are good videos available there. How to do a good stand-up meeting. So this is again I'm really hoping the culture change from weekly, monthly meeting to agile meeting. Are you okay with the suggestion I propose? If yes, please thumbs up. Okay, thank you again. So this is the principle, 8 principle, very good principle that we can adopt. And I strongly believe, we adopt these principles, we can do better project management in public sector as well private sector. So that's the whole thing. Okay, next please. All right. In terms of, I have about 8 minutes. Okay. When talking about procurement, okay, this is another topic I just want to share some of the best practices. When talking about procurement, we have a system called EP now. Everything being key in EP and everything done in EP because of the transparency. Transparent. Vendor can download the document and all that. But for government, I would like to highlight that based on the lesson learned that we have, please do a document tender that is what you call have a clear and precise spec, because this is kadang-kadang ambiguity ni vendor tak faham. Bila vendor tak faham, dia letak harga murah, kita tawar pada dia, nanti dia datang balik, kita kata oh I underestimate. Dah mula isu dah dari sana. So we don't want, I got enough experience on this. And make sure, one more thing, when you select a vendor, they put a proposal. In the proposal, they letak 10 orang. A, B, C, D, 10 orang. Make sure dia 10 orang tu ada bila kita award project. Because kita buat penilaian berdasarkan kepada strength of the team. Tapi kadang-kadang saya nampak, bila projek dah dapat, 80% of the team tak ada dalam itu. Mungkin ada 1-2 saja dalam ini. I encourage agencies to make sure the vendor put up a proposal with this kind of team. They need to be involved in the team. Make sure that. Okay. Number 3, governance. You know, you have governance, a lot of governance. You have jawatan kuasa penyidikan spesifikasi, semakan spesifikasi, a lot of things happening. The purpose here is to ensure that document tender is complete and comprehensive. And when vendor receive the document tender is quite clear in terms of what they need to deliver in the project. Okay, that's governance aspect. And teman-teman spesifikasi semua tu, I think we are putting our best. We are putting our best to ensure the requirements are very clear. For the vendors out there, memang pasukan kerajaan mati-mati memastikan spesifikasi itu adalah tepat, terkini dan terbaik. Sama ada vendor faham, kurang faham, itu another cerita lah. So that is what we are emphasizing. And when you do a lantikan pasukan project, again, my humble request to government agencies and also vendors, please form a team with the right skill set and right numbers. Okay, that's very important because in our experience, many projects fail. Sorry to use the word fail. I'm a person don't want to use actually word fail, but then it happens, so I have to use it. I always look at solution for proactive and on date or on time delivery kind of things. So make sure we appoint a team with a good knowledge, right skills, and the right numbers. If you are not enough numbers, go and ask stakeholders. Important. And make sure the project team is full-time all that time. If 1 or 2 full-time sometime, okay, depending on the situation. But I would prefer the 100% of the project team full-time all the time. And we do penilaian teknikal kewangan. Pastikan yang buat penilaian teknikal kewangan adalah pakar-pakar yang mempunyai kemahiran dan kompetensi tentang projek itu supaya mereka betul-betul boleh nilai sama ada satu-satu solution ataupun cadangan tender yang diberikan oleh pihak syarikat adalah satu tender ataupun satu solution yang menguntungkan kerajaan. Really for money. Put lot of thoughts, thinking during evaluation, pakai topi value for money. Pastikan perolehan tersebut adalah perolehan terbaik dan pastikan kita bagi markah lulus. Markah lulus sekurang-kurangnya 75 ke atas. Not less than that. I will prefer 18 above. But there are cases. Personally I prefer 18 above. So if in 18 above, be it. So be it. If nobody meet the thing, it's okay. Okay, yang seterusnya adalah penyelidikan kontrak yang mantap dan jelas. Yang ini pun contoh kontrak sudah ada dalam PK 2.1 in English semua. How agency boleh download dan gunakan. Itu kontrak itu boleh digunakan untuk semua projek. Tak semestinya system development, even hardware procurement, network procurement, apa-apa pun boleh pakai. Tak ada masalah. Sesuaikan ikut keperluan projek. Pastikan kontrak itu mantap, jelas dari segi skop kerja dan delivery dan sebagainya. Kalau kita nak pakai time box and all that, make it very clear, agile kind of ni. And penentuan jadual pelaksanaan is a very good practice that you need to have a proper way of determining the jadual pelaksanaan. 1 year ke, 2 year ke, apa ke, determine with some thing which I'm going to share short while. Next. Okay, in kerajaan kita ada 3 cara untuk menganggarkan kos dan jadual. Satu ialah WBS, Work Breakdown Structure, di mana kita buat kajian terperinci dan juga aktiviti semua terperinci untuk menentukan satu WBS yang bagus dan dari situ kita boleh buat satu kos dan jadual yang kami percaya bagus sebab kita buat bottom up. Kita perincikan dari bawah ke perincikan, dapatkan input daripada lain-lain projek apakah, you perincikan dan tengok buat dependensi dan sebagainya, you akan nampak, oh 1.5 tahun. Dulu kita anggarkan 1 tahun, sekarang sebenarnya 1.5 tahun. Inilah realitinya. So tak payah bagi UOT 6 bulan. Tak payah kena marah dengan KSU. So itu, tolong fikirkan. Yang kedua, in MAMPU, kita sekarang dimestikan sistem dalam projek gunakan function point technique. Okay, yang ini you boleh baca dekat open group punya website, very clearly mentioned. Vendors, you also need to follow this technique because in JTSA, we want to look at the cost aspect in terms of whether it's a very reliable cost or not. So we use function point technique if it's a system development project. System development project meaning to requirement, design, development, integration, those things, testing. Those are we can use at the function point. Okay, kajian keperluan, design, coding, testing, itu semua boleh pakai ya, function point technique. Tapi keperluan untuk menggunakan function point technique ialah perlu ada high level requirement, at least. Detail requirement ada lagi cantik. Tapi you mesti ada sekurang-kurangnya high level requirements. Faham Faham ke ladies and gentlemen? Thumbs up please again. So ini penting ni. Okay, thank you again. Now, the third option that we normally go for it ialah Mendes rate. For a project management ke, change management ke, technical work ke, ataupun setup network ke, ataupun data center ke, we can go for Mendes rate. I believe Mendes rate ni very common in what you call private sector. So here we are proposing a daily rate for a degree holder between 300 to 1,005. If the person have certification, you can go more, slightly more, 1,005. Here when say 1,005, maybe 300 is 1 year old degree holder, 1,005 maybe 10 years old degree holder. But if they have certification, you can go for the skip. 1,006 ke, 1,007 ke, because of the degree holder kind of ni, kita pun recognize dia punya skill, expertise dia. Kita bagi 1,006 ke, 7 ke. Itulah guidance yang kita ada. And in terms of guideline Mendes yang kita guna selalu ialah 20 days per month. Bukan 20 22 days. Ini standard lah. So ini merupakan satu slide saya nak kongsi dengan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang boleh membantu tuan-tuan dan puan-puan membuat anggaran yang lebih munasabah dari segi kos dan jadual. Okay, next please. Okay, ini I just want to give an idea. Ini pun ada buat research dekat ni website. You can download also. There are 5 teknik. Okay, 5 teknik yang kita boleh guna untuk estimate jadual ke, kos ke dan sebagainya. Satu ialah expert judgment, analog, second ialah analog ialah top down. Ketiga adalah parametric kita refer parametric. Contohnya saya buat satu sistem login dalam projek lain, berapa lama dia buat, ataupun saya buat kajian keperluan untuk projek sama similar, berapa lama. Itu ialah parametric. And lagi atas ialah 3-point estimate. 3-point estimate ialah kita ada konsep apa dipanggil optimistic, pessimistic and most likely. Optimistic, pessimistic, most likely, ataupun we call this concept weightage average. That means kita tanya a few people, expert, mungkin katakan kita nak buat satu requirement study, ada orang kata 2 bulan boleh siap, itu betul-betul pesimistik lah. Ada yang kata 6 bulan siap, itu 2 bulan siap tu optimistic, very very confident they can do it. 6 bulan siap tu pesimistik, dia macam ada ni, ada tu, SME tak ada ambil masa, ada meeting sini, meeting sana, itu pesimistik. Tapi most likely lah, katakan 3 orang kata 4 bulan, 3,5 bulan. So, kita add all these things, kita divide by number of people give feedback, and then that's your 3-point estimate. So, this is kind of a weighted average. I'm not sure how many of you adopted this technique. If you can, I hope you can do it. And the most common in terms of high accuracy and also detail ialah bottom-up technique, which I shared just now is WBS. So those techniques will give you a good indicator in terms of best estimation. I hope you can start using these techniques to get a maximum benefit in terms of estimating the cost and also the timeline, supaya saya tak maulah dengar lagi UOT semua ni. Tak mau dengar dah. Okay? Tak mau dengar UAT. So bila ada UOT, vendor dia ada masalah cost increase pada dia. Kita pula, government, image kita terjejas. Kita dah buat change management, bagi tahu sistem ini akan beroperasi 1 Januari 2022. Tengok, baru buat UAT. So, kita dah tersasar sikit. Bukan sikit, banyak pun tersasar. So, we don't want that to happen again. Okay, Chua, next. Okay, here I'm giving some guidelines in terms of some of the panduan. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan boleh rujuk untuk memastikan apa saya cerita ni adalah boleh digunakan, dan this give you some insight about how we do project management in public sector, how we reposition ourselves to ensure project management is success in public sector. So that's my last slide. Chua. That's one, sorry. Conclusion. Conclusion, I would like to, ladies and gentlemen, follow this concept, 3S. Okay, 3S meant for speed, secure, scalable. Are you okay with this 3S concept? Please thumbs up. All right, good. And what I'm trying to say here, set the right goals, set the individual goals, choose the right methodology. Like what I said today, I am sharing with you Dsdm. Read right methodologies, set priority, and also set right value. Leave the value with the organization, your own value, integrity, honesty, and make sure everybody in the team have one teamwork culture. And another aspect is the office environment. We need to have a very happy environment, engaged, and I want to see the smile face all the time, not face yang muram lah, tak gembira lah. Sebab bila kita tak muram, kita punya productivity automatically dah tak macam kita nak capai. So be happy, always be happy. All can be overcome, and we can deliver project with the 3S: speed, secure, scalable. So itu Chua. This is my last slide as a conclusion. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I would like to thank you for your kind attention, and you're given a good feedback from whatever question I asked. I think this is, I hope the session I share with you will be very, very informative, and I hope, my really hope is we need to reposition ourselves in next project management in future. Itu saya, Puan Felicia. Saya pass over to you. Question ke apa ke kita boleh ada.
Thank you, Mr. Subra. An insightful session we had, yeah. Project management, especially ICT project management, is never been easy, right? Agree, everyone? because we want to manage human, we want to manage team. At the same time, we want to manage the fast evolving technology on ICT.
Yep.
So we still survive. Mr. Subra still survive, and about 20 years. I'm still survive 12 years. Let's survive together. Okay. I think we can this one. A few people want to. We raise hand already, and then we have few questions.
I saw one question from Julie. Puan Julie,
Mm.
she's asking the agile is something new in government sector. They still have waterfall mindset. So I think Puan Julie, you need to have your CM team to share like what is the success story of agile. Success story of agile, and tell them agile already in 1980s dah. And private sector memang using agile all the time. I'm sure the private sector here agree with me. Please thumbs up if you agree with me. You're using agile to deliver the project on time.
Alright, we have Puan Zuli on stage, pengarah bahagian aplikasi teknologi government. Kementerian mana? Tak tahu. MRT. Puan, you want to on your video?
Alamak, I'm not ready.
Tak apa. Kalau
Okay, it's
not
okay.
ready to on the video.
Alright, you guys have 1 minute.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Subra. Mrs. Subra actually has been helping me a lot in my current project. It's just that a few things I would like to highlight here lah. Satu issue on data sharing. I think a lot of the agencies are still very much working in silos and not willing to integrate per se. I am facing a lot of obstacles now for integration. Despite we have engaged them much earlier, even before the tender started, but in actual fact, it's not as easy lah, Mr. Subra, and also the rest who are listening in. But I'm working closely with Mr. Subra. So nanti I update you on the latest development with JPJ, Mr. Subra.
Yeah, thank you. I fully agree. I'm seeing most of our fellow participants also agree with me. Data sharing become one of the issue, although we done engagement, etc. And that's why I always to encourage agency to have a project charter. Yeah, if project charter and bind them. That's one thing. Project charter upon Julie. Project charter. When you want to engage with them, my timeline to deliver the project in this project is so much so. Project charter will articulate that. You, agency, need to follow this timeline. That's one. Secondly, make sure you bring the top management of the particular agency in your steering committee.
Okay.
Bring them in and you tell them the issue that you're facing. So, hopefully, this kind of you may steering committee siapa chair? KSU
TKSU, Dato' Razali.
Okay, TKSU. Okay, high level jugalah. So bawa these two things together. Project charter to make sure both party agree. This is my timeline. This is scope. This is deliverable. These are people involved, etc. Number two, bring them in steering committee on invited basis. Is it okay, Puan Julie?
Yeah, at times we do that, and even for now, any burning issues, I will highlight it to my Dato' KP for him to highlight it to the respective parties lah.
Yeah. Tulis lagi highlight also tulis surat. Banyak surat tulis juga.
Tulis surat
tulis surat. Kami dah dekat sini, integrasi ini sangat penting. Kami mendapati kerjasama pihak ni, tuan-tuan ni, ini mengganggu kelancaran projek ini. Kami nak macam ni. Cakap macam tu. Tulis surat.
Tapi kan Mr. Subra, nanti kalau I push too much pun nanti takut susah juga. Itu saya punya abang Tirio, susah nanti.
Tak. Okay, one more thing. In any project public sector, this is what I noticed. In project public sector, kita due respect. Kita bagi due respect for our stakeholders. I understand that because hierarchy, ranking. But when I do project in private sector, the ranking becomes secondary. Apa yang penting ialah skill set dengan dia punya involvement.
Okay.
Faham maksud saya Puan Julie?
Faham. Sekarang ni as much as possible, basically usually most of the time saya akan deal direct dengan the IT side lah dahulu.
Sure.
Try
Try and see.
Yeah.
Okay. My colleague from private sector, are you there? Are you agree with my point of view? My colleague from private sector. Okay, thank you. Alright.
Thank
So
you,
project
Puan
chapter, make sure the steering committee, technical committee dia bawa, explain kenapa dia lambat. Kadang-kadang that agency got a vendor pula satu hal pula nanti.
Alright, thank you Puan Zuli.
Okay.
Let's go to next question.
Tadi Puan Chua, siapa yang tanya soalan tadi? Lupa pula.
Mana?
You told me somebody was asking question.
Puan Rosia, do you still want to come on stage?
Puan Rosila minta, can you share your experience on how to manage project for other ministry and agencies? Wow, this will take another 2 hours talk lah Puan. Yeah. Okay, I like your topic. I will make it another talk next year.
Okay, let's see first question. We have two questions actually from Puan Siti Rozaima. She's asking about these public servants are able to do anything to help solving any issues.
Well, this is a question. Mr. Rozaima, most of the time vendors seeking the government to follow their demand rather than meeting the project deadline. At times, public servants were unable to do anything to help resolving any issue related to the cost of project failure. Your advice. Thank you. It's a very good question, Puan Siti Rozaima. Dari mana, Puan Siti Rozaima? Very good question. Okay, never mind. Let her answer in the chat. Okay. Vendor follow. They want us to follow. Okay, this is another culture that I want to emphasize here. I want agencies to do away vendor-driven culture. We do away vendor-driven culture. Kita move to government-driven culture. We tell them, Mr. Vendor, please listen to us. This is the scope, this is the deadline, this is the thing. Please meet the deadline. Not enough people, tambah people. That's why you took the project. So, my advice to Puan Siti ialah tukar. Even the pasukan projek ke, technical committee ke, kita bentang. Don't let vendor bentang. We run the show. We control the project. We tell them what to do. So, please follow the government-driven culture. Memanglah sebelum ini vendor-driven culture tu banyak. Masih ada culture itu. Saya pun tahu. Tapi I'm slowly changing the mindset of people to do away of the vendor-driven culture to government-driven culture. And for that, government people need to up their skill, knowledge, etc., etc. Agree? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thank you again. Okay, Chua.
All right, hold on. Okay, let's see next question. We take one from YouTube. This is from Hyro. Yes, Dr. Hyro from MAMPU. Asking this one, Mr. Subra.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Airul. I have found one case where agency has stated very strict requirement in tender spec to overcome vendor issue that are unable to understand government process. Stated very strict requirement in the tender spec to overcome vendor issue that are unable. As I mentioned in my talk just now, I try to emphasize agile process where you can do. So you want to go for strict kind of requirement in your tender spec. Maybe the agency may have a lot of lesson learned before pass. Let's forget all this the lesson experience or whatever. You can still use it, but now you need to move to new spectrum. How we can move? If as I mentioned earlier, the vendor not understanding government processes, they're not good on that. Some of them macam cikgu. Kalau good student, you cakap A square plus B square plus C equals 0, dia faham cepat. Good student. Every student mungkin ambil beberapa latihan, 5 latihan, 6 latihan, baru dia faham. Some below average student may need more time. So we need to adjust this thing and see and make sure that our SME, in my experience, I've done a project on DOSH, where I went to see a project owner, and the project owner, I told them, I'm going to do this project, this is the cost of project, I need some SME. And the project owner told me, Subra, you ambil 8 orang ini sebagai subject matter expert. They are good people and they will give good requirements. So I work with them. When I work with them, we plan for requirement study 2 months only. Dia jadi 2 months, 1 week. 1 week extra, very good. Then, the vendor start designing the system and all that. When come to UAT, I mean real case scenario, this is what I visioning would like to happen when you want to reposition. When a real case scenario, when the testing happen, the first test scenario UAT kali pertama 90% test cases dah pass dah. Maksud di sini ialah because of good requirements, SME good, they give good requirement, vendor can do a good development and design, and when they do this, put the product on the ground, we test it, we find it is working, and they told me, Subra, can you do this? Can you do that? I say, sir, I can do, but not now. I need to close the project. Yang apa you minta is you could have, not must have. So I negotiate that kind of things. Must have means I will do now because what you're asking is not must have. Could have only, I will do during warranty. So dia pun agree, kita close the project. So project plan for 1.5 years, 18 months I think. We managed to deliver in 18 months. Inilah ciri-ciri yang perlu ada dalam satu-satu pemantauan dan kawalan projek. Saya memang admit agile knowledge in public sector is still masih low. That's why I notice people are using hybrid sekarang. Waterfall, agile, hybrid kan. Sama ada itu sukses ke we kena. Sebab my research does not show hybrid. My research only say waterfall, agile. So hybrid can be considered if it's flexible. Consider whether you can adopt it or not. So there's a few questions on that. I hope that answer question also. Okay, Chua, any more?
I think we have a time limit. One more question. I would choose one more, this one. Mr. Cairo from MAMPU. Mohon cadangkan tabik urus dan peranan yang
okay. Another good question, Encik Khairul. Another good question. Now, tabik urus untuk projek, dia sama dengan perisa. Mesti ada pemandu, technical dengan pasukan projek. Cara kita report boleh pakai agile lah. So, tabik urus tu memang sama. No issue. It's just that dari tabik urus sekarang ni, in terms of project meeting weekly itu, kita jadikan sebagai daily pula. And kita gunakan tools. Macam monday.com ke, you know, one of the famous tool being used, monday.com. You use the tool to explain, okay, what I've done here. Kita move from progress. Okay, this is what's done, no issue. Okay, complete. This one done, there's one issue. So we are discussing daily basis the issues. Not weekly, not 2 weekly once. Itulah yang akan memberi penambaikan kepada cara kita selesaikan. Bagi saya, tabik urus yang sedia ada boleh dikekalkan. Saya akan fikirkan bagaimana nak tambah baik tabik urus dalam perisa yang akan datang. Felicia, we look into it lah.
Alright.
Okay kan tuan-puan? Carol?
We must grab the time before Mr. Subra pencen.
Saya ialah pencen lah. Okay, tak.
Mr. Subra, last questions.
Okay.
This one, interesting question from Yaakob from MAMPU Sabah.
Okay, very good question. Which one to follow? Customer always right or boss always right? If you ask me, best practice project management, it's always customer. Bosses come and go. So, you need to, as I mentioned in my talk, that Australian government done successfully about project in Australian government. For a simple reason, their focus is customer, not bosses. Maybe bosses may not like my answer. Tak apalah, saya akan justify nanti.
Because in project perspective, right, we must follow the requirement from our customer, not the boss.
Yeah.
Because boss may not be the subject matter expert for their project, right?
Yeah. Boss only guide lah. Let the project team do the work. Agree or not, everybody?
Agree? Everyone is agree. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
All right,
Chua,
it's 12.
any more?
It's 12:05 now. There are some question. Maybe Mr. Subra can answer.
You can email to me. I share my email already.
Yes.
Nanti kalau ni can email. During the email, I can give you my handphone number. You can PM also. No problem.
All right. We have this. Saat yang nanti kan?
Just one last one.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, how was the talk today? Are you really enjoyed the talk? Just a quick one. Survey.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, Chua, I pass to you.
Okay, saat yang dinanti-nantikan, we have quiz. And just now, Mr. Subra gave a lot of hints. I noticed. He will emphasize all those quiz questions punya answer. Good luck. Hold on. And I
All
already.
the best to everyone. All the best.
By the way, I already shared the feedback link in the alert buttons there. So please need your help to complete the feedback form. And now this is the quiz. Oh, hold on. I haven't shared. I will share my screen first. Can see my screen, right? All right. So this is the quiz. You can type joinmyquiz.com and start entering the code. And I'm going to share the link with you guys also in the chat. You can just click the link. Oh, sorry, question. All right. So this is the quiz link, and then you guys can join with this one also. Anyone? No one joining yet. You guys can access the link?
Can access the link?
Or should I generate another one? Let me see the feedback. All right, okay. How come no responding? Let me refresh my screen. All right. 5%, 5 participants. Keep coming. How many participants we have now? 121. At least 50. We have 30 ringgit touch and go e-wallet vouchers to transfer to you. To be transferred.
Oh, e-wallet. Thank you.
Top 5 winners.
Top 5 winners. Okay. Please, all the best.
Let's see who is paying attention and whose finger is very fast. And whose network is very fast. All right, let's wait. We will wait for another minute. And also, please use your real name so that I can track back. Your real name and agencies also okay, like Puan Haniza, KKM. She put like this. Kek Batik, I won't know is siapa. Kek Batik. Alright, please type in your real name and then comma agencies. But real name is also good enough already. So if I can't trace the participants, I will give to the next following winners. Yeah. Okay, we have these MH nurses. Thank you for coming. I think there are 4 of you registered, including your COO. Thanks for your support. Edaran IT also. We have few. We have foreigner student. Not sure whether she's joining or not, or he.
Oh, we didn't check. But I talk in English also most of the
I
time.
think this one, May Sam. Sorry if I pronounced wrongly. There's another one for Bulgaria. All right, we have 55 already. I think let's not waste time. I will start. Okay, still got someone coming. Alright, 1 more minute. Give you chance to win. Anyone? 58. Alright. Half of you guys only to join this. Alright, let's start. Good luck, everyone. Alright, let's see. Esmawati is leading. Oi, Cairo. Mr. Kubalan. Keep it up.
Oh, Kubalan is here.
Oi, Cairo Ashraf. Lajunya. Adi. Hi, Adi Dewiyana. Long time no see. Cairo Ashraf maintain, huh? Second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to end. Congratulations.
Siapa ni? Norman Izzat siapa ni?
Norman, Puan Rosnani.
Oh, 100%. Very good.
We have top 5. Let's see. Okay. Congratulations to our top 5 winners. You answered the questions all correct. Give you a big hand. We will contact you later and make sure we will transfer this voucher to you guys by this week. Congratulations again and thank you for you guys focus. All right, let's exit and stop sharing. Okay, hold on. Yeah. I think we have come to an end for our sessions. I think ICT project management is never a boring topic, right, Mr. Subra?
Kau ambil gambar ke, Chua? Kau ambil gambar?
Ha? Gambar tak boleh, Mr. Subra. Admit kan? Can only ambil gambar you and me here.
Tak apalah, ambil. Nanti sebut.
Yeah. Actually, we did suggest to admit that we want to have a Google photo functions features. Maybe they will work out on that.
Okay. Sure.
All right. So before I end this session, thank you very much to Mr. Subra, who is volunteer to give us this talk, right? To give benefits to everyone, and thank you to 118 participants who will join us today. Thank you very much. And you guys have any question on ICT project management, especially in public sector context, you can contact Mr. Subra and you can contact me as well. We are in the team. We can help you because from time to time we always receive a question, email, even WhatsApp from our fellow personal ICT, our fellow friends. We are happy and we are glad to help everyone. Okay. So like we said, manage the project is never easy and good luck to you guys. And manage people, manage human is the most challenging one, and ICT project as well. Okay, the technology is always evolving. We have to keep track on that. We can't. There are so many aspects in ICT. We cannot be well versed in every aspect. We must know how to engage all those experts, right? Data center expert if you're doing infra project, network expert, big data analytic expert. We must know who can engage and where to engage and how to engage. And don't feel shy to engage, right? You want to have your project be very good, don't be shy to engage. Just engage here and there. to make sure our project on track, right? Okay. We have someone totally agree. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Remember to fill in complete the feedback form. I'm sad to leave you guys, but we still have to leave you guys. Mr. Subra, any last few words?
Okay. Again, thank you for your kind attention semua. I mean, tadi nampak semua dah banyak soalan dah jawab dengan betul. Very very good. I mean, you follow the session closely, and I would like to thank Chua personally to you and the PERJASA for arranging this event and make this event success, and also fulfill my SSA.
I think next year we will do a physical one. Let's have a physical real group photo.
Okay, sure.
And we have this program calling B Pro from PERJASA by PERJASA. We are going to build a community of practice and special interest group. Definitely PERJASA and project management will be the one. You will meet Mr. Subra and myself and my team, Shida, my boss Dr. Indriani, Puan Mashita. So we have a PERJASA group. We want to activate this community of practice and special interest group soon. Stay tuned and please join us. Yeah, we have a Facebook PERJASA. Please follow PERJASA Facebook page for any updates. Again, thank you very much. See you guys next year. We will do physical session. This is a promise, Mr. Subra?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.